Trace Center, University of Wisconsin-Madison. New Access Tools for Telecollaboration, OATTS, presented at CSUN 2012 by Rebecca Perkins and Greg Vanderheiden. This presentation contains both visual images and audio description. Where the audio is just reading text on the screen, there are no captions, just a message, quote, reading screen above, unquote, to avoid double presentation of the same text. Whenever the audio adds more information than just describing the screen, the audio is captioned. Why are new tools for telecollaboration needed? Telecollaboration is invading all aspects of our lives, to the point where lack of access means, or will soon mean, lack of full participation in employment, especially with global companies or customers, in education through webinars and distance education, and with social and family connections, where we might use telecollaboration to include our loved ones who are far away in important family gatherings such as birthday parties, weddings, and holidays. Communication via telecollaboration is also becoming more and more frequent. How many times do we hear phrases such as friend me, post on my wall, text me, email me, and look for me on Skype? More and more communication is being mediated by technology, and you can't opt out of using technology without being left out. The growing trend is for social interaction, both personal and professional, to take place using technology, including activities such as education, worship, time with family and friends, work, and political organizing. When communication technology is inaccessible to you, everyone can sit at the table, except for you. However, it doesn't have to be that way. Telecollaboration holds the power to be the great communication enabler, even providing some advantages over in-person communication. Electronic mediated communication is easier to transform from one format to another. For example, it is easier to caption an audio track than a face-to-face conversation. Additionally, you can record an online meeting or conversation for review, like TiVo, but you cannot as easily or conveniently record real life. What is the problem with telecollaboration as it exists right now? Currently, there are very few telecollaboration packages that have accessibility features. Those that do don't address all disabilities, and no package currently exists that is accessible across a wide range of disabilities. But most importantly, it doesn't matter if there is an accessible telecollaboration package if you are on a call that isn't using it. It is meeting organizers who dictate which software will be used, not you as a meeting participant. Telecollaboration users don't need special telecollaboration software. They need accessibility solutions that can be used with existing and common commercial software, including whichever telecollaboration program their host chooses for the next conference call or webinar. The challenge, then, is to create a set of accessibility features that together will address the needs of people with a wide range of disabilities, and that will also work with any telecollaboration software a person is required to use for any particular call. Our approach to this challenge is the Open Access Tool Tray System, abbreviated as OATTS, OATTS. Our goal is to create a web-based, quote, tool tray, unquote, of accessibility widgets. The tools work best with cooperating telecollaboration software, but will work with any telecollaboration system. Users can choose just the tools they need and keep them in their personal tray, ready to use. What are the widgets? Each widget provides a different accessibility function or service. Sometimes the function is provided by the widget itself. Other times the widgets act as a gateway to make accessibility services, such as remote captioning or assistance on demand, available on an individual basis for each user as needed. OATTS is an open system, so people can create new widgets at any time. These widgets can be proprietary or open source. They can be free or commercial widgets, and they can be used to deliver commercial or free services. How does OATTS work? First, let's look at a sample telecollaboration window shown here. It includes a presentation window, a list of meeting participants and their current connection status, a picture of each participant labeled with their name, and a chat window. Here we see the telecollaboration window with the OATTS tool tray at the bottom of the screen, complete with widgets. The widgets are designed to address a number of accessibility issues. On the following slides, we will provide short illustrations of some of these widgets. Captions on Demand. First up, I'll be telling you about our Captions on Demand widget. Again, we will use the sample telecollaboration window to illustrate. Let's say I have the following problem. I have a hearing impairment and would like to participate in an important meeting, but don't see a caption area on the screen. It turns out the meeting organizer has not arranged for the meeting to be captioned, yet I can't participate without captions. With the Caption on Demand widget, either a meeting participant or a host can arrange for captions to be created on the spot, and any or all of the participants can then view the captions independently as needed. The Caption on Demand widget acts as a gateway to provide captions on screen for users as desired. Captions here are shown at the bottom of the Telecollaboration window. Floating captions. Okay, so now I see captions, but it's pretty inconvenient to have to keep looking up and down from the top to the bottom of the screen to watch both the presentation and the captions. If you ever experience this, you will see it is both tiring and makes you prone to missing things. With the Floating Captions widget, the captions can be moved anywhere on the screen the user finds convenient. Here, the user has placed the caption window right next to the presentation materials and changed the color settings to make it easier for them to read. The captions can be changed to any color, font, or other display settings the user finds preferable. Floating interpretations. Similarly, the Floating Sign Language Interpreter widget acts as a gateway to provide sign language interpretation at any location on the screen that the user finds convenient. Again, the user can place the interpretation window next to the presentation materials to make viewing of both easier. The interpretation widget, like the caption widget, can be used with most any interpretation service to allow users to select the service that matches their preferred type of interpreting. Captions with ID. Now that we have the captions where we want them, what about the caption content? Sometimes when viewing captions, there is a delay before the captions appear. As a result, the meeting indicator for the quote, current speaker unquote, may not be the same person as the captions that are currently appearing. Also, it is hard to read the captions and watch the speech indicator. Additionally, people don't always announce themselves when they speak. As a result, it is not always clear which participant made a particular statement. With the Captions with ID widget, captions are associated with speaker names and, if available, speaker pictures as well. As the captions are created, they become a transcript of the meeting, complete with speaker identification, which can be reviewed during the meeting or at a later time. Up and down arrows can be used to review previous captions. Individual control of audio volume. Sometimes the volume level for different speakers varies wildly, with some speakers booming and others almost unintelligible. In the scenario shown on this slide, Greg is hoarse and his voice is very quiet. Jia is calling from a busy airport with lots of background noise and loud announcements and is talking very loudly to compensate. With the Individual Control of Audio Volume widget, you can individually control the audio volume of each meeting participant, raising the volume for those who are speaking quietly and lowering the volume of those speaking loudly or in noisy environments. This includes being able to mute individual volumes altogether. Individual audio controls are shown under the picture of each meeting participant. Since Greg is speaking quietly, his volume is turned up. Jia has a lot of background noise, so her volume is turned down while Greg is speaking. Video assistance on demand. For individuals who are blind or have very low vision, graphics on the screen are inaccessible. Screen readers can't handle them, and speakers often do not describe them. Often, a person can get by with just what is being said, but at times not being able to see the graphical information, or even what text a person is pointing to as they speak, causes the listener to miss key information. The Video Assistance on Demand widget allows the user to capture a portion of the screen and send it to a third party to have it described. Users can draw a rectangle around the area of the screen they want to share, and the remote assistant can describe what they see. Alternatively, users can choose to share the whole screen or select from a list of predefined areas so that visual perception of the screen is not necessary. Here, a highlighted window shows the presentation materials above that are being sent to the third party for description. Time warp. Description on demand is good, but often the event the person wants described is already past and gone before they can summon help to get that description. Also, if I use Assistance on Demand and have someone describe it to me, I would miss what is being said now. Time warp allows us to have a TiVo-like feature where you can pause the meeting, get help, and then start playing the meeting where we left off. Time Warp also allows the user to vary the playback speed, so you can catch up to the meeting by playing the recording a bit faster. Everyone then seems to be talking a little faster until you catch up to the meeting, at which time it goes to normal speed again. This is a feature that is also helpful when we get interrupted by someone coming into our office or have to take another call during a meeting. With Time Warp, we can pause the meeting and then catch up when we are done. The Time Warp bar is shown above with markers for the review point and current time, play and pause buttons, and up-down arrows to control playback speed. Touch and read. For small screens or for people with low vision, text that is small or in a very stylized font may be unreadable. In the example on screen, some text can be made out, but some cannot. With the Touch and Read widget, a user can simply select any area of the screen to have it read to them. Even if it is only an image of text, which screen readers cannot read, the widget will read it aloud using optical character recognition. In the example on the slide, the small blurry text, which is shown as it might appear to a person with low vision, can be highlighted and then automatically read aloud. Touch and explain. On this screen, I can read the text, but I'm not sure what these abbreviations mean. With the Touch and Explain widget, a user can select an area of text on the screen and have its definition or explanation read aloud. Local caption correction. Sometimes captions have errors. This can occur for a number of reasons. The captioner may not be familiar with the spelling of specific names. It may be hard for the captioner to hear speakers over background noise, and skill levels can vary from one captioner to another. Unfortunately, caption errors can slow down comprehension, if they are minor, make captions incomprehensible, or sometimes even express the opposite of what the speaker intended, leaving people who rely on captions unable to effectively participate. With the Local Caption Correction widget, meeting participants themselves can correct the captions in real time while the meeting is proceeding. The correction then shows up immediately on everyone's caption screens. If this is a remote teleconference, the edits can be made by anyone, anywhere, and the corrections will show up on everyone's screen everywhere. The meeting host can choose who can make corrections. This may be everyone or just a few people. Additionally, the feature is designed to prevent conflicting edits from multiple people. The widget also allows each person to choose how they want the corrections to look, what the text color should be, whether the initials show up, whether deleted words show with a strike-through or is hidden, as well as other options. The caption window is shown above with commuter, corrected to instead read computer. The original word has a strike-through. The corrected word is highlighted in blue text, and the corrector's initials are shown in square brackets after the correction. Low-cost captioning. One problem faced by small groups and informal meetings is the high cost of professional captioning. This often stops groups from having captions when they would like to. Using voice recognition software and the local caption correction feature described on the previous slide, you can create a low-cost method for captioning. If the speaker is talking clearly, speech recognition software can be used directly to change their speech into captions. However, no system is perfect, so just like with human-typed captions, some errors will occur. A second person can watch the output and simply click once on the words to correct spelling or add punctuation. In the event the speaker is talking too quickly or not clearly enough for the voice recognition software to understand them, a person in the next room can listen in and can repeat the speaker's words clearly into a separate microphone. In this case, the person can talk very carefully and add periods and commas as they go, making it easier for correctors. The illustration on the slide shows the speaker eating and being interrupted by another call during the meeting. This would make it difficult for voice recognition software to understand the speaker, so another person listens and clearly repeats the speaker's words to the computer. Widget selection. Now that you know more about some of the widgets, here is how people would choose the ones they want for their personal toolbar. This slide shows a sample layout for organizing, filtering, and selecting widgets. The next and previous buttons on the right-hand side of the screen allow you to scroll through all available widgets. You can also use the buttons across the top of the screen to sort the widgets by accessibility category, bringing the widgets in the chosen category to the top of the list. Here, and over the next few slides, the widgets are shown organized by accessibility category. Widgets can be dragged from their location on the screen to the tool tray for use. Widgets on this slide include floating captions, captions with ID, and caption correction. Widgets on this slide include low-cost captioning, user control of audio streams, video assistance on demand, time warp, braille display support, and chart detector. Widgets on this slide include touch and read, touch and explain, expressive language repair with text-to-speech, simplified interface, and hand-raising tool. Finally, widgets on this slide include Preview/Screen tool, Assistance on Demand, and user-selected accessible resources. In addition to the widgets described in detail earlier in the presentation and those shown in the sample organization list, additional widgets are under development. Which widgets do we have working right now? Currently working widgets include a closed captioning tool for all operating systems and browsers, a text assistant tool for all operating systems and browsers, 2 magnifier tools for Windows, and a virtual keyboard for Windows. Widgets currently under development include time warp, on-demand assistance, caption correction, and user-selected accessible resources. Thank you. This work was partially funded by the National Institute on Disability and Rehabilitation Research, U.S. Department of Education, under Grant H133 E090001 as part of the Telecommunication Access Rehabilitation Engineering Research Center of the University of Wisconsin Trace Center, joint with Gallaudet University. The opinions herein are those of the authors and not necessarily those of the funding agencies. For more information, or if you have any questions, please contact us at Trace Research and Development Center, University of Wisconsin-Madison. Our web address is http://trace.wisc.edu. To contact Rebecca Perkins, please send an email to perkins@trace.wisc.edu. To contact Greg Vanderheiden, please send an email to gv@trace.wisc.edu. This concludes our presentation.